right, y'all. We gonna get it rolling, get it popping. What's up, man? It's your boy Vel.
And Zyrus in the building. We in the flesh.
We in the flesh today, man. I know y'all tired of seeing us. If you do watch our YouTube, talk to each other from separate households. We in the same building. We in the big basement, little basement, whatever you want to call it. But glad to be back. As we always say, it's always good to get back after a victory.
Big dubs.
Big dubs, big dubs. Such an emotional win on so many levels. So we'll dive into that. But before we do that, man, Z, how you feeling, man?
Oh man, it's good, man. It was a very eventful weekend.
Oh yeah.
My little son turned 4 over the weekend.
Big Quattro.
Yeah, big Scorpio season.
You know what I mean?
For the little homie. So
Yep.
You know, we had a lot of cool stuff set up for my man. So I was definitely in daddy mode all weekend.
Full daddy mode.
It's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to do that. So definitely riding the vibes off that still.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, for those who got kids, you know, when that birthday go past, there's a lot of weight lifted off your shoulders. I'm pretty sure y'all had different stuff planned. I know I seen a couple pictures, videos, man. Looked like he was smiling from ear to ear, which is always good, man, because those years fly by so fast. You know, those first 4 or 5 years, you just seeing that kid, you're like, damn, I was just holding you. I was just putting on your diaper. Man. And now they running wild with their cousins, their friends.
It's crazy. He was born Election Day 2020.
Oof. And now, Election Day 2024.
Hey, man.
I mean, that just passed within the last 24 hours.
Yeah,
but
it's quick. It's just how fast it went.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, my man is a full-ass kid now.
Full-ass kid. He survived the full term. So, shout out to Baby Z. And, of course, on top of that, everybody know we talked about it last week. My wife shared the same birthday as his son. So, shout out to Ev. You know, we celebrated that all weekend. Really started off with, I think it's called Boozy Bingo on Friday. Saturday, took her out to eat. I think it's called Adam's Rib, place off Main Street. And then Sunday, we finished it up with a nice little tailgate. And, of course, Bills was able to get the big victory on her day. So, appreciate everybody who showed her love, you know, whether it was gifts, whether it was just commenting, saying happy birthday. I know she appreciates that. I appreciate that because, as we know, you know, it's always a win when your partner is happy, when your partner is grinning from ear to ear. So her birthday is like my birthday. We celebrated together. And, of course, mine's is up next, less than a week away. So big 11/11 showing up on your screen. Veterans Day is approaching, which is a big holiday weekend, unfortunately, in my field. But we're going to get this money. We're going to get this money, have some fun, and hopefully Bills can give us another victory. On top of all of this, we know for those, and we'll send a quick message to those who have went out there and voted, right? You know, we just came off Election Day, Z. There's going to be, over the next week, 2 weeks, 2 months, there's going to be a lot of conversations around that. My main message to everybody, and I don't know if Z got a message, is just to try to remain respectful in all of the dialogues that you have, if you have to have a dialogue with anybody. I know my main thing is this. I got a simple rule. It's like, just try to keep politics, religion away from your workplace. I know that on social media, we now have platforms where we can say a bunch of things, and depending on how many friends you got on social media, you may get stuff from all angles. Be mindful of everything that you post. You know, I know we go through those spurts where we don't care what we post, and we like, shoot, if you want to unfriend me, block me, unblock me, follow me, unfollow me. Guys, I've already unfollowed 3 or 4 people, or, you know, whatever the case may be. That's going to happen. I'll just tell people, be respectful in this time, because there are people that are hurting. There's going to be people that are celebrating right now just because of the results of the election. There's going to be people that are extremely excited for the next however many years. But respect those feelings for those who are hurt, who are angry, because without saying whoever I voted for, which I'm pretty sure people who know me would know, it is going to be rough for some people. It is going to be a period of anger, disappointment, and all of those feelings. So we will move forward. We will try to move in good faith and try to do the best we can to take care of what we can take care of. As I always tell people, control what you can control.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. You know, just don't bog yourself down with stuff that's out of your control. If you exercise your right to vote, you did what you could.
Right.
And then that's it. Only thing I always say about it is, I thank God that I live in a country where we have a free democracy. And this is the results that the people said they wanted.
Yep.
So that's the results we're going to have. Whether you voted for him or you didn't, this is the results of the people. So it played out the way that the majority said. So, we ride.
We ride.
That's all I really got to say about it.
And that's the one thing I will say, and we know this is a sports podcast, but I've learned this in my little short time of being in this world, is that you learn to adjust and move forward. You learn to, leave it in the man above if you believe in that. But as I always say, control what you can control. Is it going to be hard to surpass certain posts and get over certain things that we may see on our TVs or even things that we may drive by or interact with in public? Of course it will be. But I think one thing that I love about myself and the people who I've surrounded myself with is I got a bunch of resilient people. I know that there's some resilient mother effers out there who will just continue to move forward, and we will continue to do what we got to do to make sure we are good and our family is good. So that's my quick message from President Val, 2028. Vote for me. And I'm playing. Never. But anyways, on to the Bills, man. I know I was at the game. Great weather game. Great atmosphere. I already told y'all we had a good tailgate, had some people over there. Shout out to those who stopped by. But from the couch, man, what did it feel like? What was the energy through the television, man?
It was good, man. It's, again, another slow start.
Yeah, boy.
Again, this is a reoccurring theme.
Yeah, man.
But, as the game progressed, you can definitely feel the energy growing. Like, there was never a point where it was just dead in the stadium. Like, that never happened. You were there, so I know you know that, too. Yeah. So, the energy was always there, but just, a slow start. But it was a situation where the nerve still wasn't there. Like, there was time where they weren't ahead and they were behind for a little bit of the game, but it's just kind of like, all right, so when is it going to get kicked into gear? When are we actually going to start playing the way we need to play?
Right.
And, for me, the way the game played out was not ideal.
Yeah.
It's mostly this from an offensive standpoint. Like, I don't even mind when teams run the ball like that. It's because usually when you're running the ball on the Bills, there's still a cap to what you can do.
Right.
All that running they did, they still put up, a handful of points.
Right.
They didn't get thrown out the gym or thrown off the field.
Right.
If a team can come in and throw the ball all over you, you losing they dropping 45 on you. They dropping 38 on you. If a team is running the ball and there's still a limit to what they can do. And this Bills team has shown time after time again that they don't even mind if a team is running the ball.
Right.
Because that's still limiting explosive plays at the end of the day. You're not getting beat over the top by Tyreek, by Waddle. They might be running off 9 yards here, 14 yards here, 10 yards here, 8 yards there, but that's still limiting them being over the top in that quick score. So, not that the Bills are conceding those yards, but it's, if you want to run, all right, we're going to put our usual 6 in the box, and that's going to be it.
Right.
We're not going to bring an extra man down to stop the run because we're not going to even tempt you being over the top or beating you over the top with Hill or Waddle. So, from that standpoint, it didn't really bother me. The biggest thing for me is I just need to see this offense click sooner.
Yeah.
Because, yes, we won, but we are, in a sense, playing with fire. Because, I really feel like this team is, that first quarter now, even the first half, it's almost like a boxer. That first round or two, you're just filling out the other player.
Right.
That's all good. But when you in the ring with another dude that can punch, that's when it can be an issue. And again, they didn't play another team like that. They played the Dolphins, so you can only beat the team you played. But, that's something that's starting to become a little bit of a concern because it's looking more and more like a theme.
Right.
It's just these slow starts.
Especially at home.
Yeah, and these 3 and outs off. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
These scripted plays need to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I think just to piggyback off what you said, I think it's more, to me, I've recently noticed it more on the road. I mean, at home, because I feel like the last 2 home games, we didn't really score a touchdown in the first half. I think the touchdowns mainly came in the second half.
Or the very end of the first half.
Yeah, or the very end of the first half, because I think Seattle, we went up.
Yeah, I think we scored a touchdown.
Yep, we scored the Keon.
Yep. And this one should have been a touchdown, but kept
got the holding call. So I truly believe, like you said, it got to start in the first quarter. Like, we got to come out that play script. Because I remember a couple years back, and it might have been Dable, we used to be very, very, very
first drive touchdown
precise on getting a touchdown on that first drive. Yeah. And if it wasn't a touchdown, it was a field goal. But I think touchdowns were automatic.
It was a guarantee.
It was almost a guarantee, and that comes into play calling. and like coming in with a game plan that you know, hey, this is gonna work no matter what. No matter what look they give us, we going down the field with these looks. So I think if there's one thing Joe Brady can work on, maybe that'll be the thing that we give him for the second half of the season. Because now that we're getting into the month of November, December, we know physicality is going to increase, which the Bills don't have a problem with. So they'll be running the ball well, I know, for the next couple of months. But they got to be able to figure out a way to move the chains, be consistent, because we shouldn't go 1, 2, 3 and out with all the weapons that we got. And I know this past week was a little different because you didn't have Amari Cooper there to bring that gravity away from Keon Coleman, to bring that gravity away from Kincaid and Khalil Shakir. But the fact that you still have them on the field and you're still kind of struggling to move the chains. Because I'm not asking for a 70-yard play, 60-yard play. I'm just saying we need to have the ability to get up and down the field in that first half. So in the second half, we're not playing, all right, damn, we got to score a touchdown on this first drive or we're going to be in trouble. Because without that touchdown, really the beginning of the third quarter, we probably scrambling in the fourth quarter. I know it went a little bit back and forth, but I agree with that part. So
they were in position to score, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you at the goal line, and your receiver dropped the ball and turned into a pick. So, like, they are in position to make plays. It's just a drop here, a penalty. This season in general is always a penalty.
Yeah,
penalty there.
Yeah.
Granted, these were some terrible
phantom calls.
Yeah.
We call them
very,
phantom
very,
calls.
very bad calls. But at the end of the day, you still put yourself in position for that call to happen.
Yeah.
So, just those quicker starts, because every game this far, except for maybe the Ravens, and even the Ravens too, they've been able to eventually figure out how to get the ball moving.
Oh yeah.
Because before that Ravens game, before that trick play, they were scoring. They started to get things moving, and then they did that trick play, and then it was kind of a wrap for them. But even Houston, they came back into that game.
Yeah, down.
So, like, they've figured out how to make those adjustments to get the offense going. But it's like, so what can I do to make that filling out process quicker?
Right.
Or what can I do to not even really need that
preparation, baby? Preparation. Like I said, it's all to me is you should know that script. Your first 20 plays, and they say normally every NFL team does it. Those first 20 to 25 plays should be automatic, and you should know the audibles to them, and you should know the quarterback and the coordinator should be on the same page. Like, this is how we coming out in this game, and this is going to give us at least the first 10 to 14 points.
Yeah, because sometimes I feel like they just test teams, too, because, Miami was down a lot of players. Sealer's been out. So, like, all right, we're going to test this run defense early. So, first 2 plays runs, not overly successful. So, it's like, all right, now, okay, we test them a little bit. So, now what are we doing from there? So, like, I understand where they come from, because I get why they even started the game like that. All right, we're going to test them up front with this physicality. We at home, energy's going, you're down some key players. We're going to test you right up front with your run defense. So, like, I get it, but however, 6, 7, 8 weeks it is now, this is more of a theme than just a one-off.
Yep. But I will add this too, and then we can talk about any unsung heroes from the game before we move on. But I do think they need to use the middle of the field a lot more, especially early in the games, because I truly believe with really 2 guys in particular, with Kincaid and Shakir, they should be able to win every single week in the slot with those guys, in the middle of the field with those guys. Even Dawson Knox, I'll throw his name in there. Like, those 2-3 guys should eat very early and often, because that's going to open up the outside for Amari Cooper. That's going to open up the outside for Khalil Shakir, for Mac Hollins, or anybody else that's going to be on the outside. So I really hope that in this second half, we're going to start to see a shift in, let's get it to Kincaid earlier. Let's get it to Shakir earlier, because you see when this offense really start getting going, those 2 guys are heavily involved. Like, it's here comes Shakir. He's getting it going. Here come Kincaid. So if we can get them touches earlier, I feel like we gonna really start to see this offense start humming a lot sooner. And of course, we know the running backs. We can't go without mentioning, making sure that Cook and Davis are involved, obviously early, but just nothing predictable. And that's the only thing I don't want them to be is. Don't be predictable on first down. Don't be predictable on second down, because now when you get in a situation where it's 3rd, 8, 3rd and 9, you one incomplete ball away from 1, 2, 3 and out. Here we go.
Yeah, and the one thing I definitely want to see more of and earlier is just little quick passes to the running backs, just in the flat. It's because they've had success with that. And it's like an extension of the run game.
Yeah.
And they have 3 good running backs who are good in space.
Oh my God.
All 3 of them.
All of them can catch the ball.
Sometimes I just want to see a quick dump off of 5-6 yards just to start to loosen that defense up and make them understand, like, hey, this is gonna be here. So y'all might want to think twice about covering this a little bit different, and that just helps open everything else up. And also, it just helps Josh get into a rhythm because you just got some easy throws off rip. So easy dump. I mean, 5-6 yard air yard throws. So just easy completions, get them in the flow of the game, but also moving the ball down the field. So just even getting those running backs involved in the passing game early helps to just get that flow going, and not just a traditional run play.
Yeah,
just because the bread and butter of this team is still throwing the ball.
It is.
But how can I get some high probability throws in early to help build that confidence, get that rhythm going? But again, I'm not mad at the offense.
Oh no, I'm definitely not.
It's just these are just things that I think I see.
It's small tune-up things because they're still top 3, I believe, and I can fact check that. But I think they're still top 3 in scoring offense in the entire NFL. And
I mean, they dropped 30 this week, so yeah, they wouldn't have dropped anywhere.
Yeah, they right there. So it's like for everything we
but this is still room for even better because I still don't think this offense is running on all cylinders. So there's still room. So I just want to see this team keep growing, and I'm hoping that they can get healthy on offense.
That's going to be the key.
Keon is not out too long, and they can get Amari Cooper back to a healthy spot
and figure out Curtis Samuel. Because I'm telling you right now, if Keon going to miss any time, I'm not looking on the waiver wire. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the guys in that locker room, and I'm saying,
which one of y'all want this spot?
Which one of y'all can step up just for a couple weeks? And maybe it's only 1 week because I'm still optimistic that Keon's injury. Now that we're 3 days past the injury, I'm still holding out hope that it's nothing severe. So like, at the end of the day, who can step up? Kind of like what Mac Hollins did last week. Who can step up and give you 3 to 5 catches? Mm-hmm. Find the back of the end zone and just secure the ball. Because at the end of the day, this is an offense that's not looking for the next Julio Jones. This is not the offense that's looking for the next Calvin Johnson. We legit need guys to help move the ball down the field. And when your number is called, make a play. I mean, Quentin Morris, to me, was a great example of that because he's been used in a lot of 3 tight end
that's
situations.
His whole career.
That is his whole career.
He may only have 5 catches for the season, but 3 of them joints going to be touchdowns.
Yeah, so
that's a pure example of do your job and keep playing to the whistle. Because he could have easily stopped.
Yeah.
Not roll with the quarterback. Yeah. But since he kept fighting, he wasn't even open.
Right.
But he found a little bit of space. Josh Allen flicked the ball over, and he was in position to make a catch.
And that's honestly just playing with Josh Allen. Because if you look at Josh's career, you can name 5, 6, 7 different receivers who have had big moments because they just made the play that was there for him. I mean, Emmanuel Sanders was a guy who, guess what, may not have gotten 7, 8 catches a game, but when Josh needed a play, he was there to make a play. Based on the matchup. John Brown went through that in his first couple of years. Cole Beasley, we already know, was just an automatic weapon in the slot. But you can go all the way back to Robert Foster, Zay Jones in that 1 year that they had together. And then fast forward it, you can look at how he's helped Dawson Knox throughout his career become a big red zone guy. Dalton Kincaid still got a lot of more room to grow. But if you play with Josh Allen, the name of the game is just get open. Mm-hmm. Continue to move around. Look at Mac Hollins right now. Like, Mac Hollins probably it's been 4 years since he's had 3 or more touchdowns. He got 3 touchdowns in his first 8 or 9 games in the Bills uniform. So, what's the ceiling for him? I don't know, maybe 6, 7 touchdowns. But who would have had that as a prediction before the year of Mac Hollins scoring 6, 7, 8 touchdowns on a year? I didn't have it. So it's the Josh Allen effect. If you do your part, if you hold on to the ball as well, because you got to catch the damn ball, he will find you. So shout out to Mac Hollins. I know I talk shit about him sometimes, but shout out to him for just being available and being prepared to take on the moment. But speaking of players who stepped up, etc., this was a game that obviously we know Tyler Bass got a lot of love, and we can talk about that moment here in a few. But who would you say is your unsung hero from the game?
I was gonna say Mac Hollins, but I mean, you kind of just touched on part of it, just because he's not putting up gaudy stats or nothing crazy, but when called upon, he's making plays. Like, he's catching clutch touchdowns. That last drive where he even got in the field goal range to get Tyler Bass a kick, he's the only one that caught a pass on that drive. So, like, he There was another. I think he drew 2 more pass interference calls this week. So like he's doing the things that are necessary to be impactful, even without putting up 6-7 catches a game. Like he's literally doing the dirty stuff that is seeing results. So like he is a key part of this offense by just doing his job. So he's not the best receiver in the league. He's not the best receiver on the team.
Nah.
However, he is putting the work in. He's literally doing his 111.
Just do your 111.
And he's being effective at it, though, because some of these corners have a hard time actually checking him. Like, he's drawing a lot of pass interference calls just because he knows how to play football.
Yeah, he's your perfect professional.
He's a vet.
Yeah, he's a veteran.
He's I do this.
Yeah.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
So, like, for him, for this offense, he's in a perfect role. Like, a 4th, 5th receiver spot. Like, he's doing exactly what we need him to be doing.
Essentially what they signed him for. They said, man, listen, we're going to bring you in to be one of our backup boundary guys. And I know it ended up being a guy who started week 1, but, like, that was because they wanted to kind of ease Keon Coleman into his role. But, like, that is what you signed him for in March, is to say, guess what? We need a new number 4. We need a new number 5 receiver. Mac Hollins can give us that because in his career, he's always been a guy who's somewhere around 20, 30 catches a year. But he can get you 3-4 touchdowns like he's done. And shucks, if everybody focused on everybody else, he can be a guy that can even do more than that if the attention is elsewhere. Which in our offense, you got to worry about Ray Davis.
Soon enough it will be. Like, if we can get healthy again and you put a four wide set out there.
Oh, yeah, he'll be wide open every time. Because you got to focus on Keon if he out there. You got to focus on Murray if he out there. You got to focus on Khalil Shakir if he out there. You got to focus on James Cook if he out there. Ray Davis, Kincaid. Like, we got 5-6 different guys. When healthy, once again, that's the big part of it.
When healthy.
When healthy, you got 5 or 6 guys that you got to keep an eye on, to the point where if you're Mac Hollins or Dawson Knox, come playoff time, or even towards the end of this year, you should be open every single time.
Yeah, because the thing about this offense, it works because of the sum of all parts.
Right.
Because if you are missing a Keon or missing an Amari Cooper, that offense does not work to the same potential because the defense is able to key in a little bit more. But once you actually have a healthy receiver room and you're actually able to utilize the skill sets together, then it's a much different offense. It's because we don't have a Justin Jefferson. We don't have a Jamar Chase. We don't have a CeeDee Lamb where you say, hey, you on the field, no matter what, you the guy, you can get open regardless. Amari Cooper was that guy a couple years ago. He probably has moments where he can still be that, but down in and down out, that's no longer who he is.
Right.
But when you put him on the field with the Shakir and a Coleman and a Cook in the backfield,
get spooky.
Yeah, it works a little bit different, but this is an offense that is built around the collection of the sum of all pieces.
Yeah.
So it's determined that they need to be healthy, and this is a good time to have a bye week coming up because we can use it.
Licking them moons, baby, and then we come right back and play San Fran. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that bye week. I know these players are, because it's just like, if we can go through that final stretch healthy. Boy, oh boy, I would love to get the rematch versus Baltimore. I would love to see Houston again.
Man, I would love the 1 seed 1 year just so we can literally just get some.
It's gonna be tough, man. But I mean, number 2 seed, I'll take it.
Oh, in a heartbeat.
Yeah, if we end up getting in the 2 seed and we can keep Baltimore down somewhere in the 5-6 range, I'm taking that.
They win their division.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I'm low key rooting for Pittsburgh to win their division, because I'm low key like, listen. If there's anybody who I would rather go in as a wild card, it's Baltimore. Because if they come in a wild card, that means they got to probably play either the 4th seed, the number 3 seed. I know we'll see somebody at the 2 seed, probably the number 6, I believe. But like,
that'd be number 7.
Oh yeah, number 7. Okay, so again, we should all be rooting for the demise of the Baltimore Ravens. I say it like that.
Can't say let's ride no more.
Yeah, I say I say we big Cincy and Pittsburgh fans. I say for the remainder of the year.
I only want Pittsburgh. I mean, I only want Cincy.
Listen, I see. You're right. I'm tough. I'm tough on that one. But we'll get to the Thursday night matchup in a little bit. But I'll say quickly though, my unsung hero was probably 2 guys on defense, and I'll say Kyer Elam and Greg Rousseau. One for Kyer Elam because we know, come in with your first start of the season and you got to play Tyreek Hill and Waddle. That's a tough assignment for anybody.
He held his own.
He did, and that's why I say
he got beat one time on that.
And he was in position.
Yeah, it was a good throw, a better catch. I mean, he missed that thing by an inch. Like he recovered.
Yeah,
I mean,
good.
A perfect throw is a touchdown. However,
exactly.
he recovered. There was a catch over the middle. I think it was a Jonnu Smith.
Yeah.
And again, he was right in position, and again, it just missed by an inch. So like to come in cold, not have any real meaningful
no starter reps.
Yeah, reps this season. He held his own. I mean, he was solid as a tackler.
Yep.
He was solid and
almost got a fumble, just about a second late.
Yeah, he got a fumble recovery.
Got a recovery, but
yeah,
he was
held his own.
Yeah, and that's what I want to see from a guy who, we always talk about, what can Bills get for him, at the trade deadline the last couple years. But
there's no point. I mean, he cheap.
Yeah,
he's good depth if nothing else. Right.
Great.
Now.
I mean, probably your best backup boundary corner, one of the best in the league, because it's so valuable to have a former first round guy who can actually keep up with good receivers and not get burned. Because, we went through that in the past where we draft a cornerback high, but the cornerback can't stay in front of nobody for nothing. But he's always in good position.
Yeah, Leotis
McKelvin.
But he was always in great position.
Yeah, he was too.
He
just couldn't. Yeah, he couldn't.
He had no ball skills, but he was actually good in coverage.
Yeah, man. We've had some good corners, man. And
if nothing else, we definitely had good corners.
Yeah, I'll say, especially for our era, because we both grew up watching them in the late 90s, early 2000s. Like, we started off, I think I started off watching the Bills when they had Ken Irvin and Thomas Smith. Mm-hmm. And then from Ken Irvin and Thomas Smith, we got the two Ohio State corners, which was Antoine Winfield and Nate Clements. And then from there, we got spoiled because then we got Terrence McGee,
Jabari Greer.
Like,
it was...
And you know what I mean? So it was always a good corner coming through. And then obviously Leotis was supposed to be that next one.
Gilmore.
Yeah. And then we got Stephon Gilmore, Ronald Darby. And then Darby got traded. And so it's always been a bunch of different guys that we got, man. Shout out to a random one I just thought of too, Ashton Yabooty. You know what I mean? Ashton Yabooty from Ohio State. But nah, man.
That was one of my fantasy football team names for a long time. Yeah, feeling on your booty.
Feeling on your booty. But, yeah, man, so many good memories of the corners that we've had. But to get back to what I was saying, I thought Kyer was a good mention for an unsung hero. But then I think my main thing with Greg Rousseau is just on the last play, just to be able to eliminate that. We ain't want to get no circus play happening at the end of the game, but he kind of shut that down quickly.
It got to be intimidating having a dude that big.
Oh, yeah, nah.
On you like that.
Yeah, because he couldn't even fight it. It was just like, oh, you got me? I'm staying down.
Yeah, because
I ain't even going to try to break this tackle.
What is my 6'6", 6'7"?
Yeah, 6'6", 250, 260.
All muscle.
All muscle.
All ass in that thing.
Yeah,
too.
arms long as ever. So, man, shout out the group because, I mean, even though we would love to see double-digit numbers now.
But he doesn't have the sack numbers.
But he's making his presence felt.
The pressure numbers, the pass rush run rate numbers, his ability on the hold the edge in the run game. Like, he is playing at elite level, just doesn't have the sack numbers.
Yeah. But
he's about to earn himself some money.
Yeah, and I always look at it like this, man. When you're on the D-line, can you make your presence felt? Because year in and year out, it is tough. I feel like in this league to always finish, top 5, top 10 in sacks. But if you're his size and you're able to get in the backfield constantly, get your hand on the football constantly, be able to make a key stop on a run on the outside. I mean, all of those small things, they count. I think I just need more consistency from the other DNs. Mainly Epinesa. Like, Epinesa will have a game where I feel him. And then for 3 or 4 games, I don't even know if he get his name called in a game. So, speaking on the line, we do have 2 new additions. Quentin Jefferson is back in the fold at the D-tackle position.
Official?
Yeah, they just made it official as of Wednesday late morning.
Did they sign him to the active roster?
Yes. So they put him on the active roster. I'll fact check just to make sure. You can check the timeline if you want to see. Because I just want to make sure they went on the active roster. But Quentin Jefferson and Jordan Phillips are back in the Bills uniform.
Jordan Phillips too?
Yep. They said Jordan Phillips will be wearing number 93. Quentin Jefferson will be wearing number 71.
They need to put fucking Elianku on the damn.
Damn there, right? So it says
Phillips and
it's a 1-year
Jefferson.
contract. Yeah. So welcome back to those guys. We know Brandon Beane, if nothing else, he will mess around with a familiar face. He's not scared to bring guys back. I think right now, when you're at this point in the season, I mean, we're going into the meat and potatoes, as we call it, of the schedule. You got to get guys who know what the expectation is.
That's a wild quote. Come on,
Jordan Phillips. I'm an acquired taste, and here they like, hey, yo.
Come on, man.
Yeah, I don't know Jordan Phillips. Big pause, but nah. I mean, with those two guys, they're familiar.
It makes sense though, because this time of year, it's tough to completely onboard a new player unfamiliar with the scheme. These are two players who were here. I mean, this is Jordan Phillips' third time around.
Third time, yeah.
Yes, he hasn't been good.
Probably last 3 years.
Every year after Buffalo. Any other season outside of Buffalo, he hasn't been good. But in a specific role here, he's been effective.
Yeah.
In this case,
especially when healthy.
Yeah. We in a passing down situation. All right, Jordan, hop on the field and go rush the pass. I don't need you on early downs because you're not a good run defender at this point of your career.
Right.
So be effective in your role. But I'm happy that they at least try to do something.
Yeah, and Jefferson, I will say, coming off of his best NFL season, I think they said with the Jets last year, he had 6 sacks. So Jefferson, when we signed him last, I think it was maybe 3 years ago, it was a rotational D tackle at that point. I don't think he never had any splash moments, but being that he's coming off of a career year, they said he was with Cleveland Browns this year and was a healthy scratch a few times. Who knows what the reason was? I mean, I always say, between coaching staff, between the flow of the entire team, maybe he wasn't getting.
Sometimes it's not a match. I mean, shit. Look at Mike Edwards.
Yeah,
it's just
sometimes it don't
have talent, it's just not a fit.
Yep,
and it could have been a situation like that. But either way, I mean, they made a couple moves to beef up the middle.
Help us out just a little bit.
Just because again, I mean, Dwayne Carter is still on IR.
Still on IR, and he'll probably be back after the bye week.
Yeah, Smoot is a defensive end, but he played down in the middle a lot.
And he's done for the season.
Yeah,
so
they said he's out for the
year.
Done
for the regular season, most likely. They said that it's looking.
For the year.
Yeah, they like
yeah,
it's gonna be a stretch. I think they said maybe up to 6 weeks with the injury, and like in this time of the year, unless you are damn near one of these star elite players, they're not gonna bank on you trying to fight back. Now, if he can come back miraculously before the end of December and ball out for us, cool. I ain't gonna be mad because Smoot did, have a couple good.
Yeah, but I'm hoping they can cut old boy they signed from Atlanta, that defensive tackle.
Which one was that? Oh, yeah, I know you're talking about.
Cut him, and you can try to put him on the practice squad. But I think Eli Ankou has earned a spot on this roster. Yeah, because these last 2 weeks, he's been their best defensive tackle.
He was
especially in the run game. Like you see him pushing the line, like he's resetting the line.
The
he's
shit that you need from Daquan Jones.
The shit that you need from Daquan Jones and Ed Oliver, he's been the one making those plays. So I'm like, I think he earned the spot on the 53. Yeah. I hope they can figure something out because he might be out of call-ups too. So we'll see. Again, it's a good problem to have.
It is. And like I said, anytime.
But I was hoping he got signed to the 53 over Jordan Phillips. But however, it is what it is. There's value there.
I know. But going into this next week, guys, I know we just spent a half. Obviously, speaking about relative stuff, things that relate to us moving forward, but. We do have the Indianapolis Colts. They did announce that they are going to start Joe Flacco this week, so we getting another look at Big Joe, veteran Joe. Anything about this game, because I know it's been mentioned that this could be a possible trap game, being that it's right before Kansas City.
They say that every
week. I know. City they say that everywhere. But anything about this game that scares you?
No.
Okay. What do you think is our only way that you can see us struggling on Sunday? Because I know some people, like yourself, and I know I'm kind of there too. I'm pretty confident that, depending on who's available, which I'm pretty sure 95% of the team will be available. I'll say myself, I know they run the ball well.
Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor hasn't looked like
the old Jonathan
Taylor of old.
Yeah, JT.
Granted, he still is there. So
yeah,
as we know firsthand, like they did last time they played, they can run you off the field.
He won. However, 5 TDs.
Yeah, but their O-line is not as good as it was back then either, so they're not putting up those type of rushing output.
Right.
They got a couple good receivers. Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce, Josh Downs.
I said they got Downs. I think.
However, especially with Pittman and Pierce, I feel very good about our cornerback.
Oh, sure.
That style of receiver,
yeah.
Like the more bigger physical receiver. I mean, that lends itself very good into our cornerback play. Josh Downs is the type of receiver that I don't love playing against.
You got Terry Johnson though.
Just because he has that home run ability, but again, like you just said, having Taron Johnson definitely lightens that blow some. So I say this definitely has to be a game where you can't let it's really just you can't let Taylor run completely wild.
Yeah.
It's just another situation you can't be breaking 60-yarders and 70-yarders. You know, if we break the 10 to 12 every now and again, all right, it's going to happen with the way we play defense. But you can't let that go to the point where they're able to play action like crazy and we get no pressure and Joe Flacco just able to sit back there and scan the field and throw. Just because at this point, Flacco is a statue. Yeah. But he can still make the throws on the field. So if you're not able to get pressure and he has time to sit back there and throw, he can find that open receiver.
Yeah, it reminds me a little bit of the Seattle game because I remember the fear that I had going into Seattle, and I know that Seattle's definitely a better opponent talent-wise than Indianapolis is right now. My biggest fear was Kenneth Walker and just dealing with a quarterback who can let that ball rip, around the field. Joe Flacco, that guy who has no fear. He'll throw a 60-yard bomb. He can throw a 20-yard bomb flat out to the wide receiver. So Flacco can get this ball going. I know last week wasn't his best week, but maybe he just needed a week or two to kind of get himself going. But my biggest thing is this week is like you just kind of said, is just eliminate the run, man. If you can get everybody to get inside that box and just take them down, 1 yard gain, 2 yard gain, a loss here, a loss there, and you can force Joe Flacco in year 92 to just go up and down the field and throw that ball around like it's 2008. I think that's your best bet because guess what? Our corners are good enough, as you just kind of mentioned, to should be able to get their hands on a couple of those footballs. And I'm not saying they're going to grab everything coming that way, but they should be able to get some deflections. We should be able to get, some pass rushing.
Yeah, this is a game where I need the DN specifically to step up.
Greg Rousseau,
the pressure is not there the way we need it to be.
Yeah.
So if we're not getting pass rush with our organic 4-man rush, it's time for Babbitt to start lighting this shit up.
Yeah, send a blitz. Whatever you got to do.
Because again, now we're playing against a quarterback that's going to be in the pocket. This not Lamar.
And he can throw that
This ain't Kyler.
Yeah, he can throw it.
He can't escape that pocket. So this would be a game.
Pressure at the middle.
I'm saying, okay, we have good blitzing linebackers.
Oh, yeah.
Bernard has shown across his career he's a good. Williams has shown he's a good blitzer. Our corners have shown they're good blitzers.
Yeah.
This is a week. Okay, we got the lowest blitz rate in the league.
Yeah. But
this is a week. Come with some exotic pass rush or blitz looks and line his ass up if we need to. Because if we're not getting the sack numbers we need to, just with our 4, we gotta pivot and do something different.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, whether it's the middle or the corner, I think really up the middle will probably be our best bet. But,
ideally.
I really do want to see them be aggressive at the line of scrimmage because this is the only way you're going to beat this team is if it is play action, is that you don't give him time to set his feet, survey the field, and get the ball 20 yards, 30, 40 yards down the field. Because I do feel like if they do take it lightly, not to say that they will, this can be a game that can get tricky in the fourth quarter. It's a home game. You don't never want to put it in the hands of the refs. But the one thing that does give me confidence, though I will flip it on the other side of the football, is that the Bills' offense inside of a dome with Josh Allen.
Yeah, and against the defense who corners are just average.
You know what I'm saying? We should be able to hang another 30-plus points on them because, again, I'm looking at the fact that when you got a top 3 quarterback, top 2 quarterback, and you got a guy who doesn't have to worry about, is it raining? Is it snowing? Is it slippery? You talking about a guy that just got to go out there and either hand it off or just make smart decisions with the football. I'm expecting a big week from Josh Allen. And I'm sliding to my prediction here, but I really think that this is not a Josh Allen Superman game, but this is like the Josh Allen like Peyton Manning game, where it's like make smart decisions, hit a couple ones down the field. You might get a 30 yard.
That's what last week was. Take what the defense gives.
Yeah, take what they give you.
Be cool with it.
I think this is a great opportunity for a guy like James Cook too. I mean, you playing on once again dome.
Fast track.
Oh yeah, you can get outside. You can get boogie. So I'm looking for big games from James Cook, Josh Allen this week. If Amari Cooper is able to go, which I believe he will, hopefully they can get him in a rhythm before the Kansas City game because at this point now in the season, it's all about ramping it up. Every week they should be trying to make small tweaks, like you said, to get them going in the first half a lot sooner.
Yeah, I mean, we are a couple weeks away from already clinching the division.
Right. So
now everything needs to be gearing up towards making a run at the 1 seed and being ready for the playoffs.
Facts.
Because if I don't have that 1 seed, I need to make sure I'm firing on all cylinders by the time week 1 of the playoffs hit. That's what all this last.
Yeah.
I don't even know how many games. 9 weeks of the season.
9 weeks.
Is getting everything ready for January.
And every win that you can get against the AFC opponents will help you out. So I mean, this is a road game, but it's Indianapolis. I already know it's gonna be Bills fans out there. I know my wife and them making the trip. So shout out to the gang that's going out there. If y'all see them and y'all don't see me, just know gotta get the money. All right, gotta stay back. Yeah, gotta stay back. But again, man, it should be a fun game because Bills don't play too many games in the Dome. So I'm looking forward to seeing how their offense kind of moves the ball. Like I said, I think that they got an advantage with James Cook and Ray Davis back there. And then in the play action game, as they've been kind of putting in their mix a little bit more, again, Kincaid, Shakir, work that middle of the field, Cooper, try to get him into a rhythm. And then I really hope one of these weeks, guys, I can really say there is Curtis Samuel. So whenever that happens, it may never happen, I will be glad because I was one of the first ones this summer that was like, oh, y'all better watch out for Curtis Samuel. And now I look like a complete fool.
Because I lived up to that at all.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought I knew what I was talking about, but we don't know what's all going on there. Could it be turf toe? Could it be Joe Brady and him not being able to figure out his exact role in this offense with the other guys? But something got to give because if Keon does miss more than a week, I'm not looking at the practice squad. I'm looking right at Curtis Samuel and saying, dude, we signed you a 3-year contract, up to $30 million. We need you to earn your money. So let's ride. So looking forward to looking at how this offense looks against this defense. But again, the biggest key for me, stop Jonathan Taylor, stop the run game, and then let's get after Joe Flacco early. Because the older the quarterback, the less they want to get hit. So the more times we can hit him, get him on the ground, we gonna win. And if we can get them to kind of fold by, let's say, early third quarter, it's on to Kansas City after that. But I gave a semi-prediction, but I didn't give no score. So, Z, since we hitting our...
Go with it.
You want me to just roll? So if I'm giving points, we've been kind of close the last few weeks. I know...
Yeah, I think the last I looked, it was 5.5 points?
5.5 points. So I got to go another 30 burger for the Bills. I'm not going to hold you. I mean, the whole dome, Josh Allen got his rhythm going right now.
4.
The spread is 4. They definitely killing the spread. So if I had to go in anything, I'm going to go 30-17. I think that's a reasonable number for me. I think Colts may get one late, you know what I mean, and just give the crowd something to cheer about in the fourth quarter. But I'm going to go 30-17. I think a 2-touchdown win, a double-digit win is on the horizon. They just got to make sure that first half isn't just all slow motion.
Right.
Just like put them away. Let's go. Let's come out of halftime, score coming out of halftime, and let's get ready for Kansas City. So I'm going to go Bills 30 because I believe they can score more than that, but I think they'll take kind of like the foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. But I'll go Bills 30, Colts 17, and I'll say player of the game is going to be James Cook.
Okay. I like the Cook.
Let's get it.
Kind of on the same wavelength as you. I don't have them hitting 30 this week, not because they can't per se. I just think it may not be necessary. I see Indy having a hard time putting up a lot of points.
Yeah.
Just because right now they haven't really found too much of a groove in the passing game. And I don't think them running the ball ad nauseum is gonna be a recipe for success for them. Just because the Bills have shown when they want to stop the run, they can.
Right.
As long as the game script is the way they need it to be. So I have Indy scoring 16.
Okay.
And
close.
I have the Bills scoring 24.
Ooh.
So the score looks close.
But it won't be.
But it's a game that I feel is never in doubt.
I got you. I like those games. Because I'll be half working, half possibly celebrating with the family. So hopefully it's not...
Fake working.
Yeah. We'll see how busy it gets. But, so it's going to be... Regardless, it's going to be a fun weekend. Because, I mean, any weekend with football on is a win for me. I always tell people that, like, this is the time of the year where we got so much going on. You got birthdays going on. You got holidays going on. Football, basketball, hockey. You blink and it's over. Mm-hmm. So, as we always tell you guys, when we get to the middle of the season, please enjoy every opponent, every game.
We only get 17. We only guarantee 17.
We only get 17, and we are already what?
Halfway.
Cause
7-2.
7-2. Damn.
That's 9.
Damn. So we on the
back end of the season now.
So
definitely enjoy these, and we obviously want to win every single game.
Yep.
We want to win every single game convincingly, but even when we're not looking perfect, don't let it ruin your day. Don't trip and be like, this person need to get cut, this person need to get fired. Like, just enjoy the ride, because as we see, there are some terrible coaches in this league and terrible players in this league, and we have consistently been on the top tier teams for 5+ years now. So
this is
enjoy it.
Enjoy it, because I mean,
it's not the norm.
It's not the norm, and like I always urge people to watch. Even if you just watch 1 or 2 games a week, that's not the Bills.
You see some ugly football.
You will see some ugly football. You'll see some bad decisions.
We could be Carolina right now.
You
got nothing.
Right.
We don't know where we going. Or the Raiders. Where we going long term? I don't know.
You know what I mean? So and Washington went through that for like 15 years until they finally started making better decisions.
Got a new owner. They
got a new owner.
Sky's the limit for them.
Now the sky's the limit.
If I'm a Redskins,
Commanders fan.
If I'm a Commanders fan,
they just got.
I'm head over heels.
They just got Marshawn Lattimore too.
Yeah, and I don't have the worst owner in sports. Like I got a good set of owners now. I got a good young quarterback.
They gonna make it interesting in the playoffs. I will say that. I don't think this is the year for Washington, but like
shit, why not?
It could be.
Who want to win the NFC East right now?
It probably come down to them and the Eagles right now.
And the Eagles ain't playing amazing ball.
But Saquon, shout out for that highlight though.
Yeah, he I don't even think I got words for that. Like,
shout out.
What do you own?
That's all I gotta say. Shout out, because I mean I'm old enough now.
A reverse hurdle?
Yeah, I'm 35.
I said, come on, dog.
And all I'm gonna say is I look at stuff like that and I just be like, ooh,
you cheating? I'd have pulled everything.
Yeah, because now I'm thinking in my mind, where am I landing at?
Right.
If I'm jumping backwards,
the fact that he got that much vertical,
bro, stupid. Saquon, and that's why I drafted him in one of my leagues in the beginning of the year, because I'm like, I knew him in Philadelphia was going to be a perfect match. I just knew
it. I saw that. I said, you
yeah, because I remember it was between them. I think Baltimore was in the race for him too at one point, which would have been ridiculous. Like, it's already ridiculous that they got Derrick Henry, but like Saquon and Lamar would have OD, like, I'm sorry, that would have been a scarier matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But like, shout out to Saquon. Like, he's not in our conference or anything, so we ain't got to really worry about him. But I'm glad, again, that the Bills are paying attention to the D-line, because this is the year of the running backs.
Yeah, we got Christian McCaffrey coming back. We got them, 3 weeks?
Yeah, and we got our own running back gang over here that's pretty good. Ray Davis made another big play.
Ty Johnson. Yeah, make a play when you get the ball.
Yeah, Mr. Glue Guy
Ray
there.
Davis is
just balling.
He's
hooping.
warranting more snaps every week.
And James Cook is being Mr. Steady Yeti. You know what I mean? Making sure he getting the extra 5-6 yards, and then when you need him to, he can glide and get you in the end zone. So
he's got to catch the ball.
That's it. But
it's crazy thing about him though. When he dropped the ball, it's like, oh, that was a touchdown.
Yeah, I know.
Like the balls that he dropped out of ones, like, oh, you could have tiptoed into that.
And it's crazy because he got 8 touchdowns on the year. So like, this is a guy. I know this is a guy who legit can be a perennial Pro Bowl guy. Like, I know he made the Pro Bowl last year, but this is like, dog, you could be fucking Marshall Faulk if you wanted to be. But again, I'm proud of our run game. I'm proud of where we have been. I do want to try to wrap this up. So I do want to say go Knicks, go Cuse, go Sabres. And then another reminder for everybody out there, just continue to just keep your head up, keep your head high. No matter what happened with the election, which we know what happened with it. Just remember that you can't control what you can control, and do your best to keep that positive mindset. So that's my piece. Anything you want to add to the ending of this? Oh yeah, thank y'all for coming back for Inside the Zone with V and Z, because we never announced our title on here.
Yeah, sorry. we slacking on it. Same as I said, just enjoy the run, man. We are blessed to have such a good and entertaining team year over year right now.
Yes, sir.
As we know, we went through 17-year playoff drought, so we know that this is not the norm. So just keep enjoying the ride. Shout out to Tyler Bass, franchise record, 61 yard
Tyler.
Kick. Massive play for him. So I'm happy that he was able to get that kick. And I'm just ready to see this team continue to ride. Take care of business versus Indy, and let's see what Kansas City got in store for us the following week. So I'm just looking forward to that matchup. not overlooking Indy, but
definitely not. Just take care of business early. Yeah. I'm ready to see him too, and that's why I said the earlier we can get a jump on Indy this week, the better. Because like I said, there's no reason why that defense should stop our offense. And then defensively, if we control that line of scrimmage, if we just make sure we limit the extra yardage from their running backs and just get in the face of Joe Flacco, that game should be over by the start of the fourth quarter. So, go Bills. Safe travels to everyone out there, including my family that's going out there.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday to me. I'll say it before the next episode.
Yeah, I will say happy Veterans Day to anybody out there who did serve. We appreciate y'all.
That's a fact.
We thank y'all. I for one, thank you. I'm not built for that life.
Oh yeah,
but I greatly appreciate all those who have sacrificed to go out there and serve for this country. So happy Veterans Day. We appreciate you out there. Like I say, like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. Rocking with us this week. We appreciate y'all, but we'll see y'all next week.
Peace out. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. And as always, go Bills.